Welcome guys back to another ILWPOD video, and today me and Nasty Nate are going to be doing what if me and him booked Royce Keys in 2026.
Yes, we are here live in Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, alright. It is Royal Rumble. We are coming up on entrance 17. The crowd is chanting 9, 8, 7, so on and so forth. And the music hits, and it is Royce Keys, just newly signed to the WWE. Commentary's going crazy, and they're saying, we've seen this man in other promotions, we've seen him other places, but now he is here in the E, ready to make some noise. He gets in the ring, and he immediately goes crazy, alright? He eliminates Matt Cardona, Logan Paul, Austin Theory, slows down a little bit, he goes out through the match. He ends up eliminating JD McDonough, Dragon Lee, Dominic Mysterio, and lastly, before he is eliminated, he does eliminate Oba Femi, alright? And then he is eventually thrown over by Roman Reigns when Roman Reigns comes in and goes crazy. And after that, he's out there, and after he is eliminated, Oba comes out of nowhere and blindsides him, beats down on him. He throws him through the announce table, through the barricade, and leaves him an utter mess. And then we go on, and Roman does win the Royal Rumble. End of that show.
SmackDown is here, still in Saudi, post-Royal Rumble action. As everyone saw the previous night, the Tribal Chief, one's in the sky. Roman Reigns did end up winning the 2026 Royal Rumble. Now, Royce Keys is starting the show. He's standing in the ring. He calls out Oba, and he's attacked from behind, thinking that Oba's going to come out from the front, stand up on the ramp, talk to him like always. No, Oba came out from the crowd. Keys is given a promo saying he's going to tear through every single person in the locker room to get what he wants, what he came to the WWE for, and everything like that. Keys goes on to challenge Oba Femi for a match at Wrestlemania.
Alright, we are here at the next SmackDown, and Keys is in the ring again. He's watching his back. His head's on a swivel. He's calling out Oba, talking to him, and he throws out a challenge for WrestleMania. He wants it at Mania, and actually, Oba accepts instead of attacking him like a coward, which normally for Oba ain't the type of way. He normally kind of goes in there and messes you up. But he does accept, and it is announced that the winner of Royce Keys versus Oba Femi will be given a WWE Undisputed World Title match at the next SmackDown following WrestleMania. And the show ends after that promo.
After a few months passes, Royce Keys he's been hovering around the mid-card scene for a little while, and we go to the SmackDown after Elimination Chamber. Keys, he's wanting gold. He's like, I'm sick and tired of fighting all these jobbers and all these low-level guys that the WWE is throwing at me. I want some heavy material to hang around my waist or my shoulder. And he calls out none other than the current United States champion, man who says he doesn't miss, Carmelo Hayes. And he challenges him to an impromptu match. And Hayes shockingly accepts instead of turning him down and walking away like the cocky champion that everyone knows him as. And it goes right into Hayes versus Royce Keys for the U.S. title. After a long, hard-fought hitting match between the two, Oba comes from the ramp trying to interfere and cost Royce Keys the match. It ends up costing Carmelo instead, handing Royce Keys the United States Championship.
Alright, we are here at the next SmackDown, and Oba and Keys are in a promo when Hayes comes out there and he interrupts. And he tells Oba, hey, it's your fault that I lost, alright? And I had I was gonna win that match, alright, and you cost me. So I want my title back, alright? And then it is a big, huge brawl in the middle of the ring, a three-man brawl. They're all just throwing blows at each other, and we go to the next SmackDown.
Next SmackDown, Carmelo Hayes is in Nick Aldis' office saying he wants to be added to Oba against Royce Keys for the U.S. title because he thinks he got robbed. Because Oba Femi came down looking to cost Royce Keys, but ends up costing Carmelo instead. And Royce Keys ends up putting his U.S. title on the line. All three of the men have an impromptu brawl.
All right, we are here at the grandest stage of them all in Las Vegas, Wrestlemania 42. It is night one, and it is the opener of the show. We have a triple threat U.S. title / number one contender match, all right, for the WWE Undisputed Championship. It is Carmelo Hayes, Oba Femi, and Royce Keys, the U.S. champion, all right. And before this match can even start, Oba's making his way down to the ring. Hayes flies from over the top rope onto Oba. All right, Royce Keys hasn't even made his entrance yet, and he runs down the ring and a big brawl outside starts. And then Hayes ends up getting hit with a fall from grace onto two chairs, kind of like in a bridge, and also just a lot of back and forth. All right, it's two big meaty men and one small guy. So you can already imagine the high flying, the big brute hitting. All right, other spots. Oba hits a release back suplex, the thing where he kind of like just tosses you on two Keys through the timekeeper area over the barricade, and it just destroys Keys. And this is one of the things that kind of keeps Keys down for the rest of the match. All right, and then Hayes hits a nothing but net through the announce table on Keys after he makes his way back up from that throwing back suplex thing from Oba. All right, and then once they're back in the ring, Hayes tries to hit one more nothing but net on Oba, but is countered into a fall from grace to win the U.S. title and become your number one contender for the WWE Undisputed Championship.
We are at the SmackDown post WrestleMania 42 Night 1 and WrestleMania 42 Night 2, all that massive action that we had past WrestleMania weekend. We're now on SmackDown. It is Oba versus the Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre, and Oba ends up getting blindsided by Keys mid-match and then ends up giving Oba the win via disqualification.
All right, and now we're here on the next SmackDown. All right, Oba calls out Royce Keys. He's like, listen, I already beat you and Carmelo Hayes in that triple threat. I earned my shot to fight Drew McIntyre the last week, and you costed me. And he says he wants him at Backlash Tampa, and Keys responds with, only if you put your United States title on the line. And Oba, he accepts as the warrior he is, and hits a fall for grace on Royce Keys and leaves the ring.
We are at Backlash in Tampa, Florida, the Sunshine State. Hobbs and Keys are going to have a huge, big title match here tonight. Match starts out with before the match even starts, Oba and Royce Keys are ensuing in a brawl backstage before it starts, and they fight back out to ringside area from in the crowd. Keys hits a world's most dangerous slam, a move he got permission to use from Mark Henry, hence the almost common name that he has for the move. On the outside, Keys accidentally knocks the ref out, causing some shenanigans and everything like that. And Oba capitalizes with a chair and hitting a fall from grace to get the W.
All right, and we are here Raw after Backlash. All right, it was announced right following Tampa Backlash, all right, that Royce Keys is now on Raw. He has been switched over to Raw, and he immediately, the night starts out, Dom's in the ring giving some promo about how he's the best luchador, he's the greatest intercontinental champion of all time, and Keys attacks Dom from the back, all right, and announces that he is on Monday Night Raw, holds up the IC title, signaling that something is coming in the future for Keys in that Intercontinental Championship.
Dom Mysterio, middle of the show, he's having a promo, again talking about how he thinks he's the greatest Intercontinental Champion to ever grace a wrestling mat, thinks he's the best luchador, he thinks he's better than his dad, Eddie Guerrero, all those luchador legends that everyone knows and loves. And Royce Keys, he's not having any of it. So he comes out and starts talking smack to Dom, and Dom comes back and calls him basically a wimp, a pussycat, if you will. And Dom's like, I'm going to beat you like all those times I beat my dad. Keys responds, with saying that he's gonna whoop Dom, ragdoll him around like Dom's dad would, and everything like that. And then he proceeds to call out Dom for a title match at Saturday night's main event. Dom, then not being a wimp or a pussycat, using his own words against him, he accepts.
We are here at Saturday night's main event. It is Royce Keys versus Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. They start off this match with Royce Keys showing off that strength, all right? Throwing around Dominic Mysterio in the ring, and then Dominic Mysterio hits a surprise 619 out of nowhere on Royce Keys for a close near fall, and then the Judgment Day come out and distract Royce Keys so Dominic Mysterio can hit a quick, easy roll-up for the victory.
Raw after Saturday night's main event, Royce Keys wants to enact his formal contract rematch clause against Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship, but things with that aren't going the way that it normally goes with everybody else. Everybody else that does it normally gets the title match at the next pay-per-view right away, but Dom comes out, interrupts Keys, and says, you don't just get the rematch that you want. You have to earn it. You have to fight and prove that you deserve another shot at me, El Campeón. And Keys is then entered into a 5-man gauntlet match, and it is Penta versus Grayson Waller versus Logan Paul versus Dragon Lee versus Royce Keys. Keys wins after beating everyone to a bloody pulp and stacking them on top of each other to get the 1, 2, 3.
All right, we are here at the next Raw. Royce Keys versus Dominic Mysterio once again for that Intercontinental Championship. And Royce Keys actually beats Dominic Mysterio in this match so badly. He keeps hitting those slams, those power slams, everything on the apron, to the stairs, to the announce table. And the ref should be counting them out. But instead, he's on the outside trying to get this match back in the ring because he wants to see a clean, fair fight. But Royce Keys just won't stop because he's so angry at Dominic Mysterio. He's just beating him around the ring, throwing him into the ring post to a point where Dominic Mysterio is in a bloody mess, all right? And he keeps hitting these power bombs on the apron like a Kevin Owens would. And it is forced for the doctor or medical standby to stand in and call off the match, saying Royce Keys has won by doctor stoppage, and he is your new Intercontinental Champion.
Adam Pearce is starting this Raw, and everyone's confused as to why General Manager Adam Pearce is out in the middle of the ring mentioning Royce Keys and everything like that instead of standard Monday Night Raw opening action that everyone's used to seeing. And it turns out that Adam Pearce was looking at the replay of Dom and Keys' IC title match from the previous week, and he has concluded that he used unnecessary roughness or too much roughness, like what everyone saw with, let's say, Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton from SummerSlam. Brock was leaning in the elbows and everything like that, caused medical stoppage. And Keys attacks Adam Pearce, causing him to be suspended until the week before Money in the Bank, and will have a Money in the Bank qualifier to see if he can get into the Money in the Bank ladder match.
All right, we are here on the Raw before Money in the Bank. It has been just a couple weeks since we've seen Royce Keys. He's been suspended for attacking Adam Pearce, all right, and he's livid, all right. He's out here in this qualifier, but before the qualifier, he gives a little promo, all right, and he's like, I deserve that IC title. I worked for this, and it was unlawfully taken from me. And then the other two men of this qualifier match, Javon Evans and Penta, come out, and they all have a banger of a triple threat, okay? They just keep high-flying moves from Penta and Javon, and that strength from Powerhouse Hobbs, all right? Javon ends up hitting an OG cutter on Penta, and Keys throws Javon out of the ring and takes the pin from Javon to win the match.
All right, everybody, we are here. It is Money in the Bank ladder match time. Royce Keys against the megastar LA Knight, against the Maverick of the Vision, Logan Paul, Melo Don't Miss, Carmelo Hayes, Oba Femi, and the architect, the visionary, Seth freaking Rollins in this absolute banger of a ladder match. It starts off with Logan Paul getting Falcon Arrowed off a ladder through the announce table by Seth. Seth's very well known for his Falcon Arrows. You know, the suplex into the Falcon Arrow that he does almost every match. It's always cool to see. Next, Oba is teamed up on by everybody. Everybody knows that Oba is as big as a threat as Keys, but everyone is thinking that Oba's the bigger threat now, and they have to neutralize him, so they all gang up on him, and Oba, of course, breaks free because he's big, strong, and everything like that. Hayes, later in the match, is then hit with a BFT, or as Michael Cole says it when he's so hyped, blunt force trauma onto a ladder, and that knocks Melo out for the remainder of the match. And then Seth takes advantage of LA Knight being down on the ground, runs, hits him with a nasty curb stomp on the apron. Keys then hits a nasty, crazy spine buster on Seth and almost wins until Dom runs out from backstage, costs him the match, and the megastar LA Knight ends up winning this year's Money in the Bank briefcase.
Okay, we are here at Raw after Money in the Bank, and Royce Keys is out here, and he wants one more match at Vengeance in a ladder match against Dominic Mysterio, and he even says, if you beat me at Vengeance, I cannot face you ever again. I cannot fight for the Intercontinental Championship until you lose it. Okay? And Dom accepts, and right before he leaves, he hits a quick, cheeky low blow to Keys, holding up the title above his head, signaling that he's going to win their match.
Raw opens with Dom and the rest of the Judgment Day, or actually just Dom and Liv of the Judgment Day walking backstage. They exit the car, and immediately after, Royce Keys bum rushes, NFL style, bum rushes Dominic, throws him into the car around the backstage area, and then he's jumped by the rest of the Judgment Day goons, JD and Finn, until Dom can get back up and help and come back in to get rid of Keys. And that's how that Raw ends.
Okay, we are here at Vengeance, alright. We are here, and it is the main event of the show, surprisingly. Okay, they gave it over any world title match. And it is a ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. Royce Keys versus Dirty Dominic Mysterio. And they said that Judgment Day was banned from ringside. They cannot show up no matter what. Or Dom loses the title. And the match has started, but when Keys comes out, they notice something. All his ribs are taped up from the beatdown the Judgment Day gave to him the night before. Or a couple of days before on Monday. Okay? And Dom uses ladders, kicks, and everything to target these ribs. Rips the tape off, beats him with a ladder, and it looks like Dom has the upper hand for a lot of this match with using his speed and agility against already beaten down Royce Keys. And Dominic Mysterio hits a frog splash through the announce table off of a ladder until they fight a little bit more. They get back in the match. Keys hits a World's Most Dangerous Slam on a ladder, and he climbs the ladder. But Finn and JD run to the ring. Adam Pearce stops him before they can get even to the ringside area and tells him to go back. Finn, being the rebel he is, hits a mean 1916 on Adam Pearce. I want to say this, alright.
Okay.
Just immediately obliterates him. And as soon as they compose themselves, they're about to go and cost Royce Keys another match until 3 masked men jump over the barricades. And I want to say this just now. They beat them to a pulp. They beat him, they bury him, and they even stack him up and throw him over by the barricade. And then Royce Keys sees this as an opportunity. He pulls down the Intercontinental Championship. They get down, alright, and It is revealed after the little celebration, whatever. They're still standing by ringside. It kind of looks like they're about to get into a confrontation. Royce Keys and these three masked men. But they get in the ring, they stare off, and as soon as it looks like they're about, the kettle's about to explode, Shawn Spears, Pentagon Jr., Ray Phoenix all unmask themselves. All obviously Penta and Ray Phoenix already have masks, but they pull off their shiesties, or they're shiestied up. I want to let you know this right now. They pull off their shiesties, and the crowd goes ballistic. It goes crazy. And commentary's like, who are these guys? Why are they here? What do they have in common? Or whatever, alright? And the camera fades to black. And thank you guys so much for watching part 1 of What If Nasty Nate and Redneck Pops Mason booked Royce Keys in 2026. Part 2 will be coming to you guys soon. We have big things planned. Thank you guys so much for watching.